Welcome to You Ask, I Answer. And this is the relationships through the years with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has a podcast on YouTube. I don't know if it's other places. I know it's on YouTube. I've seen his podcast. I got hip to him when he was interviewing Cat Williams, one of my absolute favorite comedians, Cat Williams. So anyway, welcome to my studio, which is my dining room table. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go through the relationships of Shannon Sharpe. And before I turned on the camera, oh my God, I got hot mess. This person, Shannon, is a hot mess. And if you've watched his podcast, then you know that you could give him that title, hot mess. I mean, it's not a stretch. So in his relationships, he's a hot mess. And I just get a hidden side to him as well. One that, we might take a peek behind the veil and see. But let's get into it. This is Shannon Sharpe, relationships through the years. And we're going to start with Erica Evans. He has a child with Erica. I think it may be a son. I'm not sure. But this is Erica, the lovely Erica. And of course, this is Shannon. So, but before we start talking about that lovely couple, let's pull a couple cards on Shannon Sharpe. Okay, let's see what the story is on Shannon. Now, these cards resonate only with a particular word that's on the card. Okay. And so that's what I'm noticing with these cards. So let's get that first card and see what it wants to tell us. Shavakia, reconciliation. Okay. I get that, he tries to resurrect and reconcile his relationships, but I get that he's always, and this is what I'm getting, he's always effing up relationships. But that's for a reason. I get that strongly. Him effing his relationships up is for a reason. Because, he lives a secret life. So let's get a tarot card on Shannon to see what else the cards may want to say. Hope everybody's doing well out there, and good morning. Okay, Queen of Cups. And this is Shannon. Shannon is the Queen of Cups. Yep. Mature, unemotional. Well, no, let me go back. Mature, overly emotional is what I want to say. This is a mature, overly emotional woman. That's what the Queen of Cups is, because a queen is a woman. But a queen can also be a man, right? Just depends on how you look at it. All right, so like I say, we're going to take a look at his relationship with Erica. Erica Evans and this is Shannon and Erica. So let's get into it. Let's move that out of the way. Let's get a card on Erica. Let's get a goddess card just to see the type of woman that we're dealing with. The one that will just tolerate all kinds of messiness is what I'm getting. Okay. Well, let's get the card. Radical acceptance. Now, what did I just kind of say? And this card is just, but it added radical. Okay. Radical acceptance. And that's just a woman. It doesn't matter if I pick up the guidebook and read it. This is just a guide. Okay. It is a radical acceptance of his lifestyle, who he is. And she has accepted that radically. Okay. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's get some keywords on this relationship between these two. Again, this is Shannon Sharpe. Of course, we're talking about his relationships through the years, and the lovely Erica Evans. All right. So let's get some keywords and see what the cards want to tell us. I don't think hot mess is one of the keywords here. It should be. But unfortunately, it isn't. At least I don't think it is because it's never come out. But maybe we'll get hot mess today. All right, let's pull 4. And let's see what else the cards want to tell us about, well, the amazing Shannon. You know, he's got a fun interviewing style, right? Okay, so let's see what the first card wants to tell us. Risk-taking. Okay, attack, go ahead, glory favors the brave. And it does. Glory definitely favors the brave. Risk-taker. I mean, it just keeps going back to him, the person that he is. It's like things done behind closed doors, and it's taking a risk because people could come out and, you know, say, hey, I saw Shannon Sharpe doing ... Okay, I think you understand what we're on. Difference, road, future, choice, destiny. But his destiny is for his lifestyle to go public. That's what I'm getting. Crazy. And he's just going to have fond memories of all of the naughtiness that he involved himself in. You see how Erica really isn't coming into the picture. This is all about him. This is all about Shannon. And the last one, oh, secrets. Well, what do you know? Secrets. And he has a lot of them. I love when the cards just, you know, back up what I'm already saying, but I know what I'm saying, right? Disguise, bribes, treasures, codes. You can't bribe your way out of it. Huh. I'm going to pull a tarot card on Erica Evans, just to see what else we can get from that. Let's see what else the cards want to tell us for Erica. Just get one card, and then we'll move on to the next relationship, if you want to call it that. This reeks of Keanu Reeves. Okay. We have Page of Pentacles for Erica. You know, she didn't get much, but she got a pentacle. That's all I get. She didn't get much from this, but, you know, in terms of, well, anything. There's no emotional credit here. There's no money. There's no love. I don't know what's going on here. Well, I do, but, you know, you get the idea. All right. So that's, we're finishing up with Erica. So we're going to move on to the next person, which is Katie Kellner. All right. There we go. Shannon and Katie. A lovely little unsuspecting couple, I might say. I might add. All right. Let's get these cards back in the deck, and then we're going to talk about these two, which I'm getting is ho-hum and a whole lot of this. But we're going to pull cards anyway. Because like I said, when I started the reading, before I turned on the camera, I got for Shannon Sharpe specifically, hot mess. And we all know what a hot mess is. You know, sometimes it spills out into the street. We can see the hot mess right in front of us. I choose to look away. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. But here I am talking about it because, well, it's what I've been guided to do. Plus, one of my favorite people in the world, Rochelle, asked for me to do it. And how can I deny Miss Rochelle? I love her to death. Okay, let's put this away. Everybody has had an opportunity to look at the lovely couple. Oh, these cards want to spill out. You see that? Well, there we go. Okay. All right, so we've seen enough of them, Katie Kellner and Shannon. So let's talk about it. Okay. Let me put these aside. All right, let's get an overall card. What can you tell us overall about this, you know, this mess here? I mean, it's a mess, people. It's a mess, okay? But we're going to pull that card. We already saw that, I don't know, was that the 9 or 10 of swords? Okay, this is overall. I've asked for an overall card. Let's see what it is. Well, we've got the 9 of Pentacles, independence, success, financial stability, security. What I get for this card is this is just about her. This is about Katie. And Katie is independent. And she was independent from him. You know, because these are facades is what I get. Okay, but let's clarify that card, okay? Let's pull a card. Yeah, I see that one on the bottom. But let's clarify to see what else we can get. I just keep getting that saying hot mess for him especially. But he brings the hot mess into their lives. I mean, that's wild. Okay, Knight of Cups. Well, he became her Knight of Cups, even if it was brief. He was her Knight of Cups. You know, coming in, moving along, you know, slowly but surely, showing the cup until once he gets off the camera, once you can't see him and he's moved off, he's fallen off the horse, the cup is gone, and he's walking away. He's walking away from everything. Okay. Let's get some keywords for this hot mess. At the very end, we're going to pull cards on the person that he's with now. I swear to goodness, if a man comes out in that, it came out for Keanu. So let's pull 4 cards here. Okay. Let me get a sip of water, folks. Okay, betrayal. But is it really a betrayal? You know, breakup, divorce, infidelity. Okay, well, yeah, it is. Because even though she was living a lie with him, well, you know, it's still betrayal. Maybe, just maybe, that betrayal is what opened up her eyes. But I think she knew all along. What do you think? I want to say she knew all along. Okay. Book. Now, she may decide to write a book at some point, or I get a book being written by her. But it's like a book that you wouldn't know who she's, like the book would be written, but it won't be under her name, right? You wouldn't find it under her name, I get, but it would be a book, and it's a tell-all about, you know, football star who, da-da-da-da-da. That's what her destiny is, right? Responsibility, road, and shackles. She's going to remove the shackles. But he doesn't like that idea, Shannon. He doesn't like that idea. They're going to have differences of opinion on this, but it's still going to happen. She's still going to tell her story. But it says road, future, choice, and destiny. You know, she's going to get on the road, go towards her future and her destiny, and write that book. It's her choice. It's her life. She's going to live it. She's going to do what she wants. All right, let's get a goddess card. Let's see what kind of goddess she is, this Katie Kellner. Let's see what kind of goddess is this woman. The lovely Katie Kellner. Wise leadership. Yeah, she's a wise one. She's a smart one. I like this card for her. I feel it very strongly. You know, the person even The lady, this beautiful lady here, has blonde hair, long blonde hair. Epona, wise leadership. Because Katie is about to do what she does, which is, tell the story. Okay. Now let's move on to, there is a Michelle Bundy. I don't have a picture of her because I went online to look and I wasn't sure if it was her, and but anyway, she accused him of assaulting her, this Michelle Bundy. So we're still going to pull some cards on this relationship. I get there is a differing of opinion there on that, but I'm not going to get into whether it's true or not, okay? I'm just not going to go there. But what I am going to do is pull some cards on their, whatever they had for the time that they had. And we'll uncover some truths around that. But I get it was quite difficult for her to do what she, what she did by speaking. But I get that, I also get that Shannon Sharpe is a gentle giant. All right, let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's get a goddess card for her first, for Michelle Bundy, and see what the cards want to tell us, what type of goddess she is. Hope everybody's doing well out there. The moon. Well, the moon is all about deception. And she pulled the moon card. Michelle Bundy, who has accused him of assault, an allegation. The moon, Mama Killa. Like I say, the moon card is all about deception, lies, betrayal. Okay? So we'll just leave that where it is. Let's get some keyword cards and see what they want to tell us. We'll pull 4 like we've done for all the others. Okay, well, let's see what's going on. This again is for Michelle Bundy and Shannon Sharpe. Okay, we have chat, exchange of information, disclose information, and inquire. I get that around this allegation, there was a lot of discussion, a lot of back and forth. Could have been with attorneys. Yeah, there was a process. And I think that Shannon, after that, he kind of disappeared, or I don't know if he retired. But he left. He stepped away from his football career, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I want to say that's the case. Okay, we have ring, wedding, token, and bond. And with this, I just get that he will forever have that connection with this Michelle Bundy because of what was done to him, how he was ultimately threatened by everything, feud, natural enemy, and a deadly threat. Sometimes people just pay for things to go away. Just like, get it out of my life. Let's get a tarot card for the overall for this relationship. Okay. And dissatisfaction, stagnation, negative pattern. I just get, a lot of negativity in this situation. I don't think there's much more to say there. I think the cards did the talking. You can read between the lines, and we're going to move on. Now, Shannon has a few children. with a woman by the name of Kayla and another one by the name of Callie. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but I think it's Callie. So what I'm going to do with those two is treat them as one, because I feel like the situation is that way. It's like one, it's, whatever comes out, it will serve the purpose of explaining both of the situations, right? With Shannon Sharpe. I don't have pictures of them, so we won't go there, but we'll do just, the usual. We'll pull a goddess card. Let's start there for these two women. He has children with them, I do believe. Mother of Kayla and mother of Callie. Okay, so it's the mother. So those two are the daughters' names. Okay, Kaylee and Callie. Kayla and Callie. The mothers of these two. Okay. So let's pull a card. Let's get that goddess card. Okay, the in-between. The in-between. Now, I started this read off saying that he's a hot mess. And, there's some secrecy there. He lives in secrecy. So it seems reasonable that they would be called the in-between because, well, they're in between who he's really dealing with, right? He wanted children. He wanted children, but he chose the women that he wanted to have the children with. Some men do that. They choose women to have children with, whether it's for their brain power, their intellect, their IQ, which is one and the same, their intelligence, their looks, whatever. They're choosing these people for a reason. People do that, especially famous people. And so, and then later on in life, they'll get with, who they actually want to have, because maybe they're done having children, or maybe they just want what real love. I don't know. Some of them don't stop doing it, but some do. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. Good fortune. I get that this is just that. It's just having children. Because you want children. You want to have children. You want children in the world. You want your children. You want your family to continue on. You don't want to, stop that family, the world of, you want to have children so you can pass things down, right? You want to have children, and then you want your children to have children so you continue on that family. That family never dies. That's the point. Okay, so let's get 4 of these. It's very interesting. And that's what I get that he did. Let's get 4. Love and flirt. I get that there's a lot of love with those children. He does enjoy his children. Reflection, confession, prayer, and repentance. That's an interesting card to come in for him, but he's not going to do that. He's going to live his life the way he wants to live it. Delivery, transportation, inheritance, and escort. The inheritance is what I'm picking up on. These women may have been shady, because I see escort. Well, not shady, but maybe living that life. Okay, courage, bravery, adventure, fatal, and brilliant. He has the courage. It's just more about him. He is somebody that is willing to continue to do what he does in terms of his lifestyle. He's brave in that way. And it is always an adventure is what I'm getting. If you could see what I see right now, you would be shocked but I'm not gonna say because it doesn't serve anyone. Okay, we're gonna move on to the last person, which is the lovely Nicole Murphy. She was married to Eddie Murphy, which is another Shannon Sharpe. You know, didn't Eddie Murphy get caught with a transvestite or something? I mean, you know, but he has several children with Nicole. Anyway, there was rumors around this relationship. So let's just pull some cards. I don't see a relationship. I don't see anything, frankly, but let's pull a card. Let's get a card on Nicole, the lovely Nicole Murphy, and see what kind of goddess she is. Truth. I like that for her. Oh, you know what? I didn't put these away. Let's grab these off of here. And I'm going to at least put these back in the deck. So she has truth. And what I get for Nicole as it relates to her relationship with Eddie and her so-called encounter with Shannon Sharpe is I tell the truth. You know, I'm not going there, but I will tell you if you ask. Okay, let's get a let's get a tarot card on these two. Okay, and then we'll pull some cards on who is his future love. Right? We'll just get some cards, see what happens there. Okay. This makes sense, this card. It's the Eight of Wands, and that's about communication because, you know, there was a lot of flurry, a lot of communication around this so-called hooking up or relationship or whatever, but I don't see anything having happened. All right. I don't see it. So let's get 4 of these, and then we'll close this part of the read out. I mean, it was a photo opportunity, right? For him. And she was game. She's like, okay, well, I'll play this little game for you. That's what I get. Chaos, instability, unrest, unpredictability, and corruption. And that's kind of like what the internet just kind of went, whoa, what? Then we have limit, boundary, speeding, and explosion, because that's what it caused. It caused chaos and explosion. You know, at that moment, people were talking about it, chatting about it, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know, everybody was surprised, especially people that know who he is, the kind of lifestyle that he leads, you know, because people do know. Okay, we've gotten that done. Now I'm going to use my Physical Features Oracle deck to see what the cards want to tell us as far as his future love. All right. We'll pull some of these. We'll keep the story going, and then we'll close out. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, let's get. I'm getting 6 of these. 1, 2. That was upside down, so let's just mix it up a little more. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this will go one of 2 ways. We'll see who he's really dealing with or the next person that he wants to play pretend with, okay? Okay, so it's someone with dark skin. Okay. Dimples, something with their cheeks. Okay, they will wear, I'm getting weave, like, you know, because it says long hair. I get weave for that. Petite. Sometimes they'll have their hair fluffy. It's like they wear different looks, wigs and extensions and things with an average physique. Physique. Well, there you go. Let's look out for that next person. You know, it's a charade. It's a game because he's a hot mess. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't see any questions, so people were just listening. And yeah, nothing else to say here. That's the story. You know, a lot of surprises, and maybe you learned something new about him here today. But I already know what I see, so it's not like, you know, I'm surprised by anything. Hopefully you read between the lines. All right, I don't see any questions, so thanks for stopping by. As always, you take good care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.